Hello, friends. We had a little bit of a stutter step here.
Yes,
Robbie didn't push the button, and she did push the button, and now the button is pushed. Hello,
Yeah.
friends. Hello, everybody.
It's cold in here.
Robbie.
Yes?
All you have to do is put your hand on my shoulder. It's hot.
Matthew is a hot-blooded creature.
There you go.
He is always very warm.
In spite of all of our
cold.
similarities, but my fingers are cold right now. It just doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. I like to be on the cool side.
Oh, really? Oh, my gosh.
I like sleeping.
That is not true.
What?
Matthew often gets in the car in the wintertime and has to put on gloves because he can't touch the steering wheel because it's too cold.
At extreme
and
temperatures.
Delicate hands can't handle it.
Friends, this is not interesting.
No.
No. Hello!
We never said we were going to be interesting
No, that was
today.
never a claim or a promise that we made. Do we have, Robbie Bear, any sort of agenda?
We do.
Oh!
But you know what? I
What?
forgot today was Saturday until I started writing the agenda.
Oh.
Isn't this supposed to be free-for-all fun
I mean,
time?
it has been for the last few Saturdays, but
It's
there's
not
no...
today. It's not today.
Today, there's a business meeting. Today, I don't know why you didn't get the message. Today, we're only going to discuss very official things. We might discuss dividends or bylaws or things that have to do with very formal official business things. Robbie gave me a haircut today.
I did give him a haircut.
So I felt inspired to wear a button-down shirt with buttons on the collars and one of my neckties. So I thought...
Tell me about this necktie, Matthew.
Well, this is an excellent necktie. This is sort of a little mystery. This necktie was made by an illustrator who, on every tie, has one item that's not like the other. See if you can identify the item that's not like the other. Yes, it's the piece of burned toast in the middle of all those toasters and unburned toast. Robbie, do you know the name of the illustrator who created this tie?
Illustrator.
Who was it?
Her name was Robbie Bear.
Robbie Bear made a whole line of ties when she worked for a company called Copyleft.
Yes,
And
/Punctuate.
There you go.
And then they went out of business.
Yeah.
And they generously let me keep the ties. And we have about 1,000 of them upstairs in our attic.
We have many fewer than that now because over the years people
Yes.
have ordered the ties. But there are 12 different designs and different colors.
The toasters, the orange toasters are all out.
Very popular. This is the last one in the universe.
But there are some lime green toasters that are pretty sassy, but I don't want you to buy them.
You don't want her...
I have to find them in the attic. That's the problem.
We love selling things, except when the orders come in and we have
people
to
actually
fill
buy
them.
things.
I want to give a shout out to my friend on the other side of the pond, the Shankses. Good to see you
I want
guys.
to give a shout out to the E's.
Hello,
Hi.
the E's. Hi, guys. Hello, everybody here.
Maybe only one E is he. Here.
Who knows? There's at least one E. Saturday, April 18th, agenda for the picture book reading, and we have today theme song calisthenics. I'm ready to go. I'm feeling full of vim. I am going to dance. I am going to shimmy. I'm going to shake. I'm going to do what Robbie tells me to do.
You're going to do...
I don't know what the grapevine is. I don't know what that is.
We're all going to learn what the grapevine is.
let's
I'm not sure that I actually remember how to do it.
Okay.
But...
All right, let's do it. Yes?
The problem is it's a foot move.
Oh, well then that is a
I have
problem.
to get farther away.
That's as far away as
I'm
we
going
can
to
get.
get over there. Let me see
Okay.
if I can get over here.
All right. Do you want me to pivot the camera down, Robbie? Do you want me to lift the camera into the
Here we
sky?
go. I think that's good. I think people can see me. Can you see me, everyone?
All right, here we go. Here we go,
All
friends. Do the thing that you do, Robbie.
This is the grapevine.
All right.
You go, da, da, da. Oops, I'm not really sure what to do at the end. You cross your foot in front, and then back.
Here's
and
a
then
tip,
that,
guys.
and
Before
then
you
da,
teach
da,
somebody
da,
something,
da.
make sure you know how it works.
Maybe you go forwards across.
Oh, gosh. Don't
And
watch.
then usually there's some move at the end, like you pump your arms.
This is a sad, sad display of knowledge.
I'm not really
This is
sure.
like someone teaching someone in medical school, when you remove the heart from the chest cavity, use a plunger. All right, so boo, 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 yeah, boo,
Yeah.
boo, boo.
There you go.
Boo,
Usually there's a little
boo,
hip
yeah,
twitch in there.
boo,
There you
boo,
go.
boo,
Matthew got it.
Boo, boo, boo.
My instruction was
Boo,
perfect.
Boo, boo. Play the theme song before
Okay.
I forget. Boo, 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 yeah, boo, boo.
The Matthew, the Robbie, and Matthew Show.
I deviated a little bit.
You
there.
did.
Yeah. Do
You
I stay
did
here
your-
for more, or should
No,
I come
I
back?
think. Well, maybe
What
I'll have
else?
to do
What's
a
next?
proper demonstration.
What's
the
next?
Okay,
Come on.
the next
ooh,
item.
Ooh, my injury.
Oh, are you hurting?
Yeah.
Well, don't do that then.
Okay, all right. I can't see. You'll have to read it yourself.
Warrior pose to Matthew's fan club song.
Okay, is that one of these?
That's the one that I sort of accidentally did. I think that's this one. Bend to the front leg and then arms straight up. But
I
you
thought,
gotta
I thought the warrior was like that. No? All right, we'll do whatever this is.
arms straight across.
Okay.
Okay, but you're yes,
Okay.
and lean into that knee, man.
Okay, here we go.
There we go. All right. No flexing of muscles.
Well, but a warrior flexes his muscles.
Warriors don't flex their muscles.
I'm in Matthew's fan club.
I'm a
That is
contemporary
not the
warrior. I'm a
pose.
contemporary warrior.
You
He has
are
different
a
moves.
warrior who can't hold still.
I didn't want to hold still. It's
the
different.
wrong
There's
kind
a
of
difference
warrior.
between can't and won't.
I'm offended.
What's the next thing on the agenda?
What do you think it is, Matthew?
Punching to Robbie's theme song. Robbie's remarkably consistent when it comes to how she wants. Am I correct?
You are correct.
Okay, here we go.
Wait.
Warriors punch, right? Don't warriors punch?
No, warriors. They focus their energy to only use it when they need to use it.
It's not punching?
It's not random punching.
Are we punching with this theme song or
We
not?
are punching
okay,
with this
that's
theme
what I'm
song.
saying. I'm still a warrior. All right.
You did not succeed at being a good warrior.
Robbie is cooler. Robbie is cuter.
That is not punching either. What are you
And
doing?
Robbie's just better.
Oh my gosh. You are the worst.
I'm trying my hardest.
Your hardest is terrible.
I'm doing the best that I can. Things
Your best
are
that you can is terrible.
Okay, thank you for the uplifting encouragement, Robbie. Robbie does know how to fill my bucket with goodness and delight. All right, what is next, Robbie Bear?
What is next?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Well, obviously we're so exhausted.
Okay.
We need to drink some water.
Oh, and I brought some. Would you
Thank
like
you.
Would you like here? Let's mix it up.
Oh.
Let's switch up the gender stereotypes, and I'll drink out of the pink glass.
I didn't know
and you
that
could
there was
drink
a
out
gender stereotype
You didn't
about
know?
our
You
glasses.
haven't lived in this culture and
mean-
experienced gender stereotypes?
That's kind.
No,
whatever.
this is straight up pink.
All
All right, here we go. And I love it. I love drinking out of the pink glass. I love it. Makes me feel more masculine.
I have a story about pink and blue.
Oh. Are you going to tell us? Are you
In
going
the
to just
Victorian
spend
era,
all day drinking your water?
in the Victorian era,
Yes.
it was backwards.
Okay. Oh, what?
Boys wore pink,
What?
girls wore blue.
How'd that get mixed up? Or how'd that get changed? How did that get...
I don't know. Did you sprinkle water all over your shirt? What happened?
I think in my zeal to finish my water quickly, some of the water ended... That's my secret, don't you understand? For drinking
You
my
just
water
pour
quickly.
most of it over your
Some of
shoulder?
it gets absorbed on my shirt, some of it lands on my cheek, and I nonchalantly wash it away without you noticing.
Yes. Somebody can do a little research for us.
Okay, I'd like that.
I don't know that. I think I actually tried to do this research once when I found it out.
Yeah. You
why
tried
it-
to? And
well,
what thwarted you?
that I couldn't find any answers
Oh.
as to why it switched over.
Were you thwarted by Candy Crush or something like that? That was a more exciting way to spend your time on the
That's not
line?
how I do research.
Okay,
That is
fine.
how you do research.
I do
I
not.
felt
No, I just don't do research.
I felt I thoroughly looked for an answer to why it switched back to pink for girls and blue for boys, and I could not find a good reason. I feel like it had maybe something to do with commercialization of something.
I want to clear something up for Waylon, who's confused.
Oh.
All right? Drew Bunting is the name of the father. He
Yes.
is the person who wrote all the theme songs.
Yes.
His son's name is something else. All right? So be not distracted by the Drew Bunting.
But see, Drew Bunting sometimes the son sometimes signs on as Roscoe, sometimes signs on as Drew. They are one and the same.
And they sometimes go by E. But I'm
Yes.
not telling you their real names because that's not my job, role, responsibility, privilege, right, or want.
What?
Want. It is not my want. W-O-N-T, not
Yes.
W-A-N-T. It's not my
know.
want or my want.
What's weird is it's
What?
also not your won't,
It's not my won't. It's not my wint.
but it's spelled like won't except without the apostrophe. English is a strange language I do not understand.
There you go. I'm Drew's kid. That's the way to do it. Matthew, did you cut your hair or just brush it? I did neither. Robbie held me down with one hand by the scruff of my neck and
Today was haircutting day at the Bear Swanson household.
It was time. Look at this. Look at this.
Jasper
Look.
got a haircut.
Look. Oh my gosh, Jasper's so cute.
Kato got a haircut.
Kato's so hip.
Matthew got a haircut.
Kato looks dreamy, you guys. He looks like a surfer child from another coast.
Kato wanted an asymmetrical cut.
He
so he got
looks-
short on one side.
He looks good. He looks...
swoopy down
I don't know how
below.
any kid of mine looks as cool as Kato does right now. Okay, here we go. All right. What do we have, Robbie? We have theme. Remind everyone about the theme of the week, robots. Assignments due today. You guys,
Guys, your assignments are due today.
now I've got to say that a
I
lot of the
haven't
class...
checked my email today.
Well, Robbie, how can you hold anybody accountable if you haven't checked your email?
I'm compiling it all today
Oh.
so that we can talk about robots tomorrow.
Okay.
And all of the fascinating things everybody has discovered about robots in their thorough research.
So I guess what you're saying is no one's in trouble now.
No.
Okay.
I said it's due today. for the record, when I say something is due today, I mean by midnight today.
And Robbie actually
Because-
means 2 weeks from now on midnight when she says it's due today. So the problem with the theme of the week is that all deadlines are fungible affairs.
That's not true.
No?
It ends at the end of the week, but the end of the week is midnight Saturday.
Okay.
As far as I'm concerned, some people have a Monday start sort of week.
And for
I'm a
me,
Sunday start sort of
all
week.
of my robot research was turned in 2 weeks ago before the theme of the week was ever announced. I'm just saying in general. I'm making generalizations about me and deadlines.
Oh, yes.
I am
If
so...
Matthew had known 3 weeks ago that the theme of the week this week was robots, he would have gotten it finished 3 weeks ago.
I don't like to be up against deadlines. It makes my
I
palm
believe,
sweaty.
I believe Principal Ella, there were several people who, El Puppy,
Yeah.
they seem to be built like you.
Yeah.
There's some people who are going to be scraping in right at the deadline.
Do you mean warriors who punch delicately
Those are my people.
and make muscles during the warrior pose?
right.
I think that's what you're talking about.
All right,
All
so
right.
remember, people, I
Yeah.
want to know about robots. And we found some fascinating things about poop robots, butt robots. Your robots can be...
Yeah, maybe somebody could
less
have less scatological
infantile.
robots. Yeah,
Yes.
let's have robots that like speak philosophy or something.
You know what? I have to say,
What?
in my robot research,
Yeah.
I found a lot of kind of creepy things about robots,
Yeah.
and I chose not to share those with you.
Well, you don't want to damage the
I
children
don't want to make you scared of
or
robots.
the adults or anybody.
Yeah, but
all
they
right.
kind of creeped me out.
Yeah, I don't want that.
So I'm gonna pick a less next week's
theme of the week will
is
be
gonna
balloons
a
or
little
teddy
bit different.
bears or what's happening, Robbie?
It's not gonna be balloons. or
What's
teddy bears.
next, Robbie? Read the Henderson Robot.
Read My Henderson
Henderson Robot.
Robot.
You guys, this was the first children's book we ever
Yes.
created. One day, Robbie needed a manuscript, which is just a fancy word for a pile of words that add up to the words in a book. And she said, "Write me a story, Matthew." And I went over to my desk in Savannah, Georgia, and I was like, "I don't want Robbie." And I
I
wrote it
don't
down.
think you were
don't
like
know
that. You
what I
were
did.
very happy to write a story
And
for
it was
me.
very exciting. I'd never written anything for children before, and it came out like a river from the spring at the mouth of
And
the
you
mountain.
did zero editing on this, didn't you?
Do you mean
I
did
think
I
my project
rework
was
it at all?
due.
I think I reworked it a little, but it came
Yeah,
out pretty naturally.
yeah.
My best projects come out pretty naturally. So
I don't know if that's true. I think your best projects come out naturally, but
Mm-hmm.
then they are edited to within an inch of their lives.
yes, but my point is,
Mm-hmm.
I know pretty early on in the creative process if I have the joy
Yes.
and the connection to the material to write it at all.
Okay.
And if I have to force it, then
Right.
it's not.
Yes,
it's
that's
not-
true.
It's not the right
That's
thing.
true.
Do you have a copy of My Henderson Robot?
I did. What happened to it?
I don't know.
There it is.
I see it. Who's reading this book today, Robbie?
I think you are. You're feeling rather zippy and dapper.
I mean, the man with the tie, I think, is eligible for reading the book.
you're absolutely eligible.
My Henderson Robot, and I want to point out, because I'm not sure it's in the PDF, that this book is for dads. For dads. Does anyone ever dedicate a book to dads? I don't know. But in this particular case,
Somebody did.
the dad appears in this book.
You know what?
What?
To be fair, you dedicated that to dads before you were a dad yourself.
Is that true?
You weren't trying to just get some credit for being a dad.
I think the dad is an important part of the story.
agree.
Which is why... I mean, there aren't very many important parts of the story, so the fact that the dad is involved was almost enough. The dad is the generational link between the girl and the robot. It was dad's robot first, which we'll
Yes.
find out in a minute once I start reading this book, if Robbie will let me start. My Henderson Robot by
All right.
Matthew Swanson and Robbie
Robbie Bear.
Cato Bear. Here we go. Please, settle in. If you have some popcorn, eat it.
Oh, that's a good idea.
If you
Maybe
have some
next week
seltzer water, add a slice of lime,
tell everyone
and drink
to
it.
Bring popcorn.
If you have a pogo stick, jump on it. If you have a cat, stroke it. I'm just saying, there's many things you can do while you're reading this book, listening to this book. Please, now, be quiet, everybody. Quiet. Be quiet. Be quiet.
You
Sit
are
down.
the only one talking.
Please, Robbie, calm yourself. My Henderson Robot. I found him in the back of the garage the other day. I was surprised to see him because he looked like the water heater, which is supposed to be in the basement. But there he was, dusty and sad. I washed him with my blue towel and got in trouble with Mom. Dad was mad at first because I'm not supposed to touch anything made of metal. Then he saw the Henderson Robot and started crying. Dad kissed and hugged the Henderson Robot. The Henderson Robot didn't like that much. Dad knew the Henderson Robot when he was a boy. They used to play games together, games like Chase and Catch and Three-Round Battle. Where have you been for so long, Dad asks. The Henderson Robot says he's been standing in the garage since Dad was 11 years old waiting to finish their game of hide and seek.
That's so sad.
I'm glad I found him. I wonder if he has a stomach, and so I ask him. He has a lot of wires, he says, and a small plastic fan to keep his insides cool. That's much better than a stomach, I say. I want to ride the Henderson Robot like a tank, up the hill and down the other side. He is wary of the plan, but it works out fine. Fire your cannon, I say. Bang, bang, he says. It is nice of him to try. The Henderson Robot does not have thumbs. All he can do is poke things with his 2 fingers. He cannot travel rough terrain. He has to watch while we swim in the pool. It's hard to be an old robot without a jetpack for easy maneuvering. We're going to Grandma's, and Guys, I'm writing a story right now about someone named Gramangela, so I saw and I got excited. But it's just Grandma in this case.
You're just going to Grandma's, not to Gramangela's.
We're going to Grandma's, and I want to bring the Henderson Robot. Dad says okay, because he's the best, but not Mom, because she's... The car is too small, says Mom. The Henderson Robot is willing to ride in the trunk, but Mom fills it up with soup cans and toilet paper rolls, so there is no room. He has to stay behind, and I have a terrible time at Grandma's. Cousin Jeff will not believe about the Henderson Robot, so I pinch his arm. The Henderson Robot has 1 red eye and 1 blue eye. They are both supposed to be red, he tells me, but there you go. What?
What happened? Why am I... Oh,
Did you go backwards?
Sorry. I went backwards.
That's okay. That's okay. I try to find another red eye for him, but I can't. I show him my big brown mole, and he feels better. The Henderson Robot is my friend. I wonder all about him. Does he miss his mom? Where is his toothbrush? Does it snow where he comes from? Or maybe does egg salad fall from the sky? Sometimes when the other, faster, stronger robots come by, we hide under the porch and eat chocolates. At night, the Henderson Robot waits by my closet door to keep any monsters out. He keeps his blue eye open so I can know where it is. He shuts his red eye so it can get some rest. The Henderson Robot does not know how to read, and neither do I, but I teach him about the number 5, which is my favorite number. He says he prefers the number 3. Do robots need to go to the doctor, I wonder? I open up his control panel and see that the glass tubes are all empty. I fill them with bottles from the garage. Suddenly, the Henderson Robot has amazing new powers. I think we should play hide and seek. The Henderson Robot looks worried. I tell him it will be fun, that it's a great game. I hide. He finds me. He hides. I find him. It is a great game. He is my robot. The Henderson Robot tries to teach me to stand on 1 foot. It is not easy. He laughs a little when I keep falling over. Then he says he's sorry. When I finally do it, we eat pickles to celebrate. Sometimes Dad wants to play with me and the Henderson Robot. When we take an ocean voyage, Dad drives the ship, but he does not pay attention, and we almost get eaten by a giant octopus. After that, the Henderson Robot drives, and Dad peels potatoes. The Henderson Robot does not know about birthdays. Mom and I bake him a cake, but he can't blow out the candles. I sing happy birthday, but he says he'd rather hear row, row, row your boat. I give him a blue, bouncy ball, and we bounce it until dinner time. When my brother is born someday soon, I wonder if the Henderson Robot will like him. The Henderson Robot does not think he will. Babies are very bald, he says, and very wrinkly. The Henderson Robot grabs a stick from the ground, waves it like a sword, and suddenly we are pirates. The Henderson Robot and I have a fight about dinosaurs. I want to go to bed, but he says we have to make up first. Every morning I wake up, and there he is. We have a whole day again. The Henderson Robot had a dream last night, and it gave him a great idea. Today, he says, we're going to go looking for rubber bands. I eat my breakfast and put on my boots. I look out the window and it's raining, but I don't care. The Henderson Robot doesn't mind holding the umbrella. We step outside. The sky is green. It's hours until lunch.
Yay!
Should we read the bios in this one to see what we were up to this many years ago?
Sure.
So this is interesting. I don't think we had any children when we wrote these bios.
I guess not.
So
I don't have the bios in this PDF.
Matthew Swanson likes to play harmonica and is happiest when it rains. Those things are still true. If there are burritos for dinner, he will eat too many and give himself a stomachache. Still true. He has 2 cats. Not true. Both of whom are fat and furry. He has 2 kids. Not true. Who sometimes draw on the walls. He has a blue dog. Not true. Who almost never smiles. True. Matthew's daily chores include doing the dishes and laundry. True. He does not enjoy gardening. True, true, true. Don't like gardening. Don't like getting my hands all dirty. I don't understand why people like to make things grow. Things will grow on their own. I rest my case. Robbie.
Yes.
After trying for years to learn her multiplication tables. True. Robbie Bear is finally feeling ready to draw some pictures.
Oh.
True.
True.
True-ish.
I don't feel I've adequately learned my multiplication tables, though.
She likes to ride her bicycle,
Yes, true.
but prefers eating ice cream.
Absolutely true.
She was born in Maryland,
Yes, true.
but has spent a lot of time in Alaska,
True also.
where there are grizzly bears.
Yes,
Sometimes she watches sappy movies and cries.
true.
But most of the time, when there is ice cream, she is pretty happy.
True.
True. All right.
True.
Matthew Swanson and Robbie Bear are the writer and illustrator behind Idiot's Books, a small independent publishing company run out of the hayloft of a barn in Chestertown, Maryland.
True. No longer true.
Sort of true-ish, right? Yeah. Every 2 months or so, they produce a new book, which they promptly send out to a growing list of subscribers around the country and world.
No longer true.
That was true at one point.
That
That's
was
how we
true
got
at
started,
one
you
point.
guys. We made books like this. We sent them out. And what do you have to say, Robbie?
Given that this is the second time through, I don't remember if people had questions about this the first time through or what questions we answered, but I wanted to point out a few things about it.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number one.
Yeah.
I think that it's pretty funny that Matthew made a lot of things vague that were unclear. This one,
Yeah.
about mom filling up the trunk with soup cans and toilet paper so there's no room.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do we think that mom actually was being spiteful and just filled up the trunk
I don't
so
think
that
so.
the Henderson robot couldn't come? Or do we think that that's the girl's interpretation of what mom was doing?
That is my thought. Now,
I thought mom was just being spiteful.
you thought Mom was being spiteful?
Yes, I thought mom was just like, I don't want him to come. For goodness sakes, can we please leave this robot home? There's no room for him. This is something that moms sometimes secretly do.
And you
they
know
say
what?
sorry. They make up some weird excuse, and your kids just have to be like, okay, I guess that's true.
And I think something that supports your theory
Yeah.
is that if you were trying to fill up a trunk quickly,
Yeah.
wouldn't you take something like a 36-pack of toilet paper
Right,
and put it
and
in the
just-
trunk?
yes.
Because with one swift
one
movement,
swift
you could be
move,
like,
you can
sorry,
just-
there's no room for
there's
that
no room.
dude.
Yeah.
And maybe she put
And
a
it's
couple of
not
soup
heavy
cans in just to make
even
it
things
seem...
out.
Yeah, but why would you need to take toilet paper to Grandma's house? That's a question.
Exactly.
Unless Grandma's out...
So when you conceived of this, you thought that it was the girl misinterpreting
Robbie,
mom's actions.
when I conceived of this,
didn't
I
think of
wrote
it at
something
all.
that sounded interesting.
Yeah.
And did not interrogate it any further.
Well, I thought that mom was being super spiteful.
I like that. I like that Robbie, through her spiteful lens, thought that mom was a jerk. And through my lens of innocence and naivete, thought the girl was just interpreting the fact that mom put a few things in the trunk first as a means of prohibiting her robot from entering. Why are you showing this illustration?
I'm showing
Robbie?
this illustration because, this one.
Yes.
Dad was mad at first because I'm not supposed to touch anything made of metal. Now, what kind of rule is that?
I think...
What kind of rule is
I
that?
think it's her interpretation
Again,
of
like some kind of draconian rule
don't
that...
touch the knives, don't touch the garden shears.
And she just extended it to
Right.
be anything made of metal.
Right. She's like, what is the common thread for all these things I'm not supposed to touch? Oh, their metallic nature. It's
see.
not that Dad said don't touch things made of metal. She extrapolated because she's young.
Well, all right.
And it was funny. I thought it was funny.
I thought it was funny too,
Yeah.
but I also thought that her parents were a little bit overprotective
mean-
and just like blanket statement, don't touch anything metal.
I think it's akin to saying don't touch anything with gunpowder in it, right? I
Right.
think it's the same sort of way of sort of covering your bases, right?
You think that parents would say that?
Well, I don't know. I'm trying to give you an example. Don't touch any alligators of any kind,
Right.
like that sort of thing.
I
all right?
understand not touching alligators.
I'm
of
just
any
saying it's
kind.
the same sort of thing. It's a blanket statement
not the same sort of
meant to protect you from peril.
There's lots of things made out of metal that are not dangerous.
I guess in her house she has to use plastic forks.
Yeah, I guess
and
so.
she's not allowed
That's
to
what
use
I'm saying.
doorknobs.
It's very difficult.
I understand.
to
I
be
understand
this
what you're
poor
saying.
girl.
You know when this would have been a useful comment?
When
15 years ago.
But I like that
No, I
about
do
this
too.
book.
I do too.
like that it's ambiguous. Ambiguous meaning that it doesn't have necessarily a clear answer. The other thing that I wanted to
What did
point
you
out
want to point out?
was her mole on her stomach. Now,
Oh.
we wrote this book long before any of our children were born,
Mm-hmm.
but Alden looked very much like this little character with
Mm-hmm.
the short bangs. And Alden also has a mole right next to her belly button.
Do you think you were looking into the
I
future?
think I saw the future.
Wow, that's
So
amazing.
there you go.
All right, cool.
And then the other thing that I liked was on this page.
yeah.
Nope. Well, yes, this page I got to imagine what his new superpowers were.
Right,
His
because I
amazing
didn't
new
say,
powers
right?
Was doing a backflip,
I didn't say at all.
and I love how he looks doing a backflip.
I do too,
I
though.
think that turned out great.
Yeah.
And
I like him hiding in the bathtub.
like him hiding in
and
the
not realizing
bathtub,
the
too.
little wheel is pointing out. Yeah. All right.
and I also liked, where is it? Oh, this. Deciding what one would do with a whole bunch of rubber bands.
I know. I love it. Again, that's not something I put into the book. Robbie had to figure it out. I love leaving little problems for Robbie. Actually, I don't. I just write
Matthew
stuff.
doesn't even realize
and
that they're problems.
I don't think about
that
it.
he hasn't described a whole bunch of stuff, and then I just have to try to
But
figure it
if
out.
the writer describes every single thing, the illustrator
Yes,
has
it's
less
not-
room to
it
invent
is-
and create.
It is not as fun.
So this would
Yes.
never have occurred to me. So if I had said what the rubber bands were for, Robbie would not have had the opportunity to discover this wonderful use of
Yes.
rubber bands. So really, I am to be thanked, if not praised.
I
Yes.
thank you and I praise you, Matthew.
I would like to point out a few things.
Yes.
Waylon is wearing his robot pajamas this week.
5 stars,
But
Waylon.
that makes me sound like he means he's wearing them all week long.
Yes, to celebrate Robot Week.
Right, but does he mean like he's just never taking them off? Like it's
I
just
don't
a
care.
whole week in
This-
pajamas?
You know what?
What?
More power to you, Waylon, if
I'm
you wore
not
them all day long.
criticizing him. I'm just investigating his statement.
You seem
Just
to be
wondering.
judging.
I quite often don't take off my PJs except for when I dress up for you because we're having a business meeting
I was going to say.
instead of a live cast.
Matthew finally washed his PJ sweatpants.
On my
for the
shirt,
first time.
it shows the robot breakdancing. That
Oh.
Waylon, I would like you to get your parents' permission to send a picture
Yes.
of the PJs. Doesn't even have to include your face, just
Yeah.
the PJs breakdancing robot coverage
Yes.
showing.
Yes.
Please, that would get you out of detention.
No, you're already
Yeah.
out of detention.
Why?
You get 5 stars for Robot Week because you're taking it seriously.
We don't have any evidence. We don't know. He could just be making that up. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
I want
If
visual
he is
evidence.
making it up, he I
Wait,
think he
Waylon
came
just
up-
gave us some robot research.
Yes.
The term robot comes from the Czech word robota, that means
Robota.
drudgery or hard work and forced labor. George Devol invented the first digital operated robot.
I appreciate your research efforts. However,
Uh-oh, was somebody already turned that in?
somebody did already turn that in.
Yeah.
And also, when you look up interesting facts about robots
Mm-hmm.
on Google, the first thing that comes up is 50 most interesting facts about robots. And the very first one is that the term robot comes from the Czech
Mm-hmm. Are
word
you? Come on now.
robota.
Come on. You did not put any rules and restrictions on the type
I'm
of
just
research
saying,
that could be. Look
go
deeper,
farther
my
down
friends.
on that
Dig
list.
down. Dig down. Our
However-
friend. Yes.
I do think wearing robot clothes absolutely qualifies
If evidence is submitted. If
as-
evidence is submitted.
as thorough robot research.
It is time to go. Do we have
Oh.
any jokes? Do we have any
We don't. Oh, we
last
had some
minute?
jokes at the
Okay,
very beginning.
come on. Here we go. All
From
right.
the Shanks.
Yeah, here we
What
go.
do you find at the end of the rainbow?
Pot of gold.
No.
A leprechaun.
No.
The end of the rainbow.
That is close.
The rainbow's the back cover of the rainbow book.
W.
Oh, the rainbow. I got it. All right. What's next?
Why are brooms late?
Why are brooms late? Because
Mm-hmm.
all their punctuality got swept aside.
Oh.
Because the witch slept in.
Nope.
Because
Because they usually oversweep.
I was sort of there with
You were
sleeping
getting
in.
there,
All
you were
right.
getting there.
All right. What's that?
This is just a statement.
Okay, let's hear it.
Time
Time.
flies like an arrow.
Is this a wise statement?
Yes.
Okay.
Fruit flies like a banana.
Ooh, time flies like an arrow makes you have
Yes.
one version of like.
what?
It's a simile. Fruit flies like
Like.
a banana, as in,
Yes.
give me the banana.
But it's also a different version of flies.
Yeah.
So flies the verb.
That's a clever statement.
and
Who
then
sent that?
flies-
Who sent that?
That was the Shanks.
So was that William? Was that William, president of my fan club, maker of my logo, maker of my Lego avatar, Lego of my my boat that carries me forth the agenda?
With the agenda?
With the agenda boat, William. Come on, let's have a little bit of air punching at Robbie.
All right, here's another good one.
What?
Also supplied
go.
by
It's
William.
time for me
Okay,
to
what do
start.
you hold without touching?
Stocks in my company. You hold shares and you collect
In the Matthew
dividends.
Fan Club?
Yes.
All right.
What is it? What's the answer?
All right.
What's the answer?
A conversation.
Oh. All right, we gotta go. We gotta go.
Or just go over to the next
All right,
one.
see you. Bye.
Goodbye.